Hey! This is day 66, Art Life video blog with Jacob, and I'm Grace Passerotti. Nice to meet you.
How do you say your last name?
Passerotti.
Passerotti.
That's probably not the right way to say it technically, but that's how my parents say it, because they're from West Virginia and not Italy.
I've seen it a few times, and I didn't even want to try to pronounce it. I was like, I will butcher that.
Yeah, it's okay. I do too.
I'm Jacob Wolf. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'm really excited to be here today. I've been following some of the projects that Grace has been putting online. Okay, before we talk about what you're doing now, talk about your past. Are you from Portland?
No, I was born in Connecticut, and then I moved to Texas when I was like 5 or 6. Then I moved to California, and I lived in California throughout elementary school, and then I moved to Ohio and lived in Cincinnati, Ohio through high school, and then I moved to Columbus, Ohio for 1 year of college, and I lived there for a few years, and then I moved to Portland several years ago, and I've been in Portland ever since, as for my adult life, like 22-ish and onwards. I'm 25 now.
I was going to ask you how old you were.
Bounce around a little bit.
That's what got you interested into art?
I've been interested in drawing as like my main thing I'm interested in, like as far back as I can remember. Like as soon as I picked up a crayon, I just started drawing and never wanted to stop, basically. I think I started keeping sketchbooks in 4th or 5th grade, and I've been really into keeping sketchbooks ever since then. Like a lot of them.
What did you start out drawing?
I think the first thing I drew was a rainbow and crayon. But when I really got into drawing, like, intensely was probably in high school when I was into anime, and I became interested in, like, actually trying to learn anatomy and, like, trying harder and learning more because I really liked anime, and I was into the style, and I tried copying the style a little bit. And I think that's what really kick-started me, like, getting more serious about, like, learning the technicality behind it, but I've always just loved enjoying, like, I've just always enjoyed doing it.
I watched a lot of anime. I love anime.
It's super inspiring. Yeah, I never really got into American comics or TV shows when I was little. Well, my parents were, like, super religious, so I was super sheltered, and I didn't really get much interaction with pop culture and movies. So when I hit high school and all my friends were into anime, it was like a really exciting new world for me. And I really liked the graceful, flowing, like kind of feminine figures a lot better than the American style. Like super manly everything, you know?
America is bigger the better.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And Japanese stuff has a lot of really emotional content and like darker stuff, which I love. So that's definitely obvious, reflected in my work over the years. That's how I got really started, like, being really excited about it, I think.
Who has inspired you to keep going throughout your life?
That's a good question.
Do you have mentors, or?
I have a mentor right now in Portland. His name is Daniel Gill. He's a painter, and we've been close friends for a few years, and he always really inspires me. But growing up, I kind of had the opposite of mentors when it came to inspiration, because everyone around me all the time told me to stop drawing. I would draw in every class in school and always get in trouble. My parents discouraged it because I drew, like, scary things and, like, porn when I was really young, and they were like, no, like, this is bad, like, you can't do this. And I would, like, draw on myself and draw on the walls, and I was like kind of a frustrating child for them to deal with. I was their first kid, and I was headstrong, and I threw temper tantrums, like, a lot because I was frustrated all the time because I wanted to do this thing that I felt like was really simple and not harming anything, but everyone around me all the time said it was bad. And I don't think I was being particularly rebellious by continuing to do it, but I was definitely just naturally compelled to do it all the time no matter what people told me to do. And I just kind of did that anyway. I would get in trouble for it all the time. But I think really positive influences didn't happen until recently when I became an adult and started seeking them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's intense. What projects are you working on now?
Well, one of my goals for this year as a general project is to do one zine every month, which is like a really short comic, and I still have to work on the one for this month, but that's like a new exciting thing. And then my biggest like life project as an adult is my comic Deerskin, which I started several years ago in Ohio. That's like this on my tattoo. I tattooed the name of my comic into my chest as my first tattoo to like dedicate to finishing it. And so far I have 150 pages, but it's been spread out over so many years. Recently I decided to start over, which a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. Like, I'm like, I'm not throwing away the old pages, but I've learned a ton about making comics since I started, and I already know like everything about the story. I've known for a long time, so I think starting over is a good idea.
Do you think it'll go quicker the second time?
Much quicker. Yeah, I want to plan it out really soon, like this month or next month, very clearly all the scenes that are going to happen, so there's no like wasted time in between, because I planned out the basic scenes, but I didn't plan it out very well when I started, so it's kind of drawn out and long, and like a lot of people have complained that it doesn't feel like it has a story, you know? It doesn't move fast enough.
Okay.
It's kind of weird because it's like surreal psychological horror. So it's like a weird genre, and it's kind of intentionally slow because it mixes daily life in and it goes like over a long period of time. It's a little hard to explain, but I want to like get that creeping feeling without making the story too boring, you know?
And you're writing it, drawing, and doing all the color.
Everything. Except it's in black and white the first time around, but I might do color this time. That would be like really difficult, but I think it would be better in color for sure.
Rock on. What about the Deity project? How did you start doing that?
I started that last month or a few weeks ago, I was painting in a tea shop, and the owner, or the art curator lady, was like, do you want to have a show next month? And she liked my stuff, and I was like, whoa, yeah, like, okay. And then I went home and realized that I didn't have anything appropriate to show on the walls, because I paint a lot of, like, horror and erotica, and, like, maybe not something you want to tea shop around little kitties, you know?
Right on.
Because I don't really censor myself, usually. But this project, I've been meaning to research Hindu deities for a long time, and, because I really love like Hindu/Indian art. It's like full of life and like bright colors, and it's really intense. Like there's some scary stuff too. So I picked out 12 of, like I did the 4 elements, and then I did like 3 dudes and their wives of like the main people, and then a few other ones that were really cool. Here's one I'm working on right now. I put gold foil, or not foil, I put gold ink on them, so they're all shiny. And the Indian or Hindu gods have like a ton of jewelry on, and they're like really luxurious looking, so I put like a lot of gold on. It was really fun.
You've, from what I can tell, you've been cranking these out real fast.
Yeah.
You work really fast, and it's impressive. And you obviously work a lot.
All my time.
Do you have another job?
Last month I was working full-time at the sock warehouse called Sakatumi, and I was drawing on invoices because they're a small enough company. They ship large orders to like smaller companies, like Powell's Books sells Sakatumi socks out of them, so they're like a kind of like a third party to retail stores because they don't have a retail store. And they're small enough so that people who order directly from them, customer invoices from their online shop, we have to draw on every single order that goes out to a person. And usually people just like doodle a little sock or something, but they hired me like through one of my roommates, and I'm like an illustrator, so I would draw all these like really crazy things, and they'd be like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So they hired me on for their busy season during Christmas, and I drew on like hundreds of little receipts, and it was super fun.
Wow.
And it was really important because it was the first job I've ever worked where they actually encouraged me to do what I do best, which is drawing, and drawing fast too. So it was like a huge like emotional like high for me to like be at working full-time at a job and drawing is like a big deal. Because I do best doing my own thing. Like all of my experience like job-wise is food and customer service. You have a low battery.
Yeah.